Okay. I'm gonna let some people pile in here, whoever that is. That's yeah. Uh, Get me some water. Let's see. Yeah, y'all come on in here. Uh, Tony Mack, Tony Mack, Tony Mack. That is wow. Okay. Hold on, y'all. This was a little premature. I was building up to coming back, so I don't have my music set up or nothing. But uh, we gotta, we gotta, we gotta have this talk. I gotta stay up again. I really need my sleep. I'm getting older. I ain't supposed to be doing this, but this is very, very important. Uh, and like I said, I didn't want to say it there because again, I'm new to this whole. You ain't supposed to do clicks to do this or cloud up this or do that because you cloud chasing. And I don't want to get into none of that, especially because of things that I'm gonna explain in a minute. But I got to get myself together. I got to refresh my weed, get some water, and go to the big nigga bathroom real quick, and then I will be right back, y'all. I'm sorry to bore you with no time. Hey, Big Bad Bull, what's cracking, bro? Trucker, Yale. I don't know. Hey, man, I don't know if you've seen it, but I done stumbled back into into this internet shit, bro. Uh, um, and I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah, Tony. I'm glad y'all here. Like I said, uh, let me do my shit real quick. I'll be right back. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Bring up questions you have for me. How this became all of that. All of that. Bring it up. If you can't invite any of the angry man is invited over here. If he'll come, because I don't know this shit about numbers. If you think that I want numbers from you, yeah. Dear people who have more numbers than me, if you think this conversation is about numbers and I'm going to somehow leech your numbers or your numbers, any about it, don't come over here. Please don't. I don't want to grow off of nobody else's steam but mine. On my kids' eyes, I'm not cutting up nothing that happened with Angry Man and nothing that happened with Tommy for two different reasons. All right, I'll be right back. All right, that's good enough. Hey, Latoya Brewer. Hey, Zero. What's up, bro? I don't know how much of that you caught. But yeah, uh, yeah, let's get into it, y'all, real quick. Um, what you saw tonight um, is not about deserving. I got more. Hold up, devil. I got more numbers now. I ain't invited. I don't know. Zero, bro. You know I don't know how to run this shit. You know I ain't trying to slight nobody. I don't. I don't know what. Okay, I ain't even know. That's the whole thing. Is I want to make numbers on my own, and uh, here's the get down. From here until I get through this particular this particular thing I'm doing, I want y'all to pick out where I'm being dishonest, where it sounds like I'm lying. Not even over there. Forget that. We're gonna talk about why that was like that, how that was. What you saw was a Roman Colosseum play out. Liar! You saw this anger. You saw how much people had invested in me and they felt betrayed. I can only fix that with track record from here forward. I own, I owned, I thought, and I'm gonna tell y'all the whole story, or as much of the story as I'm comfortable with. But there will be nothing I'm hiding about Tommy or his money or none of that. And it's gonna sound a little repetitive from over there, but it's gonna come out in one piece and uninterrupted. Number one, I did not meet Tommy and in a trap house. I didn't meet Tommy in no destitute situation. Shout out to the poetess, Felicia Morris, RMC. Dope ass, black owned by a sister studio here in LA. Friend of mine. Zoe moved the show over there. Me and Zoe have been rocking together since the Foxhole. Y'all have heard me say it. Marcus King put me and Zoe together. I still put our 1-2 punch up against anybody on the internet. I stand on that. I stand on the reasons that you all are here anyway. We was taking the bumps and bruises, but we was rolling, trying to make this something bigger. We moved to RMC. And I'm trying to bring up some. This was 2010, 11, maybe. 10, 11, 12, down. Look, there's a meeting of me, Tariq Nasheed, Zoe, I think Corey was there, and Tommy was there at Tommy's place. We was really trying to make some shit happen. I was with it. But it's a gang of shit, y'all, out here in LA. There are things, I don't have to lie about this. When you're paid to ghostwrite, you're paid to keep your mouth shut. When a lot of times it's a lot easier to get ghostwriting money than get a credit because they have to pay you forever. With ghostwriting, you just give me a lump now. And during this time, I was just getting into that. And I was okay. But I was seeing people getting robbed, people getting hustled. I had been hustled and hustled hard right about then for about a 7-digit project that I can't speak on right. I still can't. That I developed, that I started it out. I had an idea. I gave it to my manager, and a year and a half later, and after we were no longer working together, that show was huge on a huge network. And it's clearly my show. Man, you talking about life-changing money? I had lost that. Opportunities that I fucked off, nobody else's fault but mine. Shit I was going through with my kids and my exes and money and life. I really, really, really did find myself in a funky place, apparently, at that time, to go on the one show. Y'all can go look at it with Zoe and Corey and badmouth this man, regardless of whether it was true or not. I shouldn't have done that. And I thought I had apologized properly for that years ago, because I saw him. I was done with it. I wasn't watching him online. I knew he had big numbers, but I ain't watching show. Nigga, I'm trying to make shows. You don't have time to do that if you try. You can't watch TV if you're trying to make it. It was a 5150 show, I believe. If you just bring up Jeff Brown, Corey Holcomb, Zoe Williams, it'll show up. I didn't mean for any of this to come up again. And I said some bad shit, bro. And it's not that it was false. I never lied. I never said slanderous shit. I said some things about that man gave to me in confidence because I was angry. I don't think it was Mansions, Latoya. I don't think so. This was Corey's platform. The one time I went on Corey's platform. Because we don't talk about this shit over there. We be on other shit. Look at the subjects. Look at the subjects we be on over on Zoe shit. I was over there on that shit. I came over to this and did this of my own volition to a dude that didn't deserve it. And I never should have done that, y'all. And I thought I owned it tonight. The problem was who I owned it in front of. The problem was we got one. That was the problem. Oh, can I say what the show was? No, Majesty, I can't. I can't, because I'm trying to get them to pay me now. And I can't. I can tell you this. They got a school bus full of lawyers, and the one I got, I can barely afford. But there is a light at the end of this tunnel. But yes, bro. And it happens all the time. I shouldn't have done that, even if I thought this nigga was bullshit and I was wrong. And I didn't know. $10,000 a month to moving in with a broad, bro, I've done that. That makes sense. But that wasn't what it looked like. You know what it looked like? I'm finna get burned again. Fuck this nigga. And that's right where I went. That's right where I went. That is the bullshit that I followed. I was wrong for that. I was wrong. Whatever that man is guilty of, the other niggas say about him, that ain't got nothing to do with this. This is me. And I thought I said that earlier. This went on and on. This oval dirt track of people saying the same thing was not about me. This is about they shit, and we finally got one, and we mad. And I gotta take that. I gotta take that. If you go back and watch it, and I'm not going to ever again repeat the words I said about that brother. Y'all don't really need to see it. You really don't. Because it wasn't nice. And it was something that he confided in me in confidence. And I put it out there because I was mad. Because I really wanted to do something. Because me and Tommy don't have no other flaw. Me and Tommy was finna get down. It wasn't just about money. It was about who I knew. I was like, hey, man, I'll put everybody I know behind this. And that was what we were all saying. We're going to put everybody we know behind making one big move. And when it looked like his part of it was crumbling, I did some bullshit. I did some bullshit that I shouldn't have done. I really shouldn't. I ain't know nothing about no girl. I ain't know nothing about, I don't be in that. Y'all look for my name in that. I don't talk about niggas like that. I don't. That's why when the accusation was, we said you on show, at the show. Nigga, you got the one show we was talking about. Find another one. Find a show. I need y'all. I thank you, Latoya. Find a show. I challenge y'all. I challenge y'all. How's Will? Is he tied up? Uh, I I I I, I challenge y'all. Find a show where I'm intentionally bad mouthing somebody other than Whitey. Or I bad mouth Whitey. Not white people, Whitey. Y'all know who Whitey is. I bad mouth this system. I bad mouth this country sometime. I put my life on the line for it. But I need you to find any show. Go back to the ones where I invite people on my show to discuss bullshit about me, and I'm not rude to them. And I don't be on no bullshit unless you go to Fight Club where I was talking shit because that was the deal. But to be on some hatred about, come on. God been too good to me. God been too good to me. I don't have to put, I don't, it's a gang of my life I don't put on parade. I don't have to. Y'all go YouTube. Y'all go Facebook. Go through my pictures. I don't lead no life with no whole bunch of money. I lead a happy life, a happy, positive life, and I help people. And there's been some people I done wrong, obviously. And Tommy was one of them. And if I could take that shit back, I would. I would. I would. It was because and again, a lot of times this is what you want. This is what people don't want apologies. They don't want sorry. They want a punching bag. Oh, okay. Great question. Great question, A-Dub. How it go left all of a sudden? Here's how. A lot of people were saying Tommy was right about the things he was saying about politics and women. Things back in the day I agreed with him on. And there were people who really wronged him in different ways. There were people who wronged him in different ways. I'm gonna get to that, Tony Mac. There were Cajun, what's up, man? I don't know if you caught the fire, bro. There were people who wronged him in different ways. That tried to steal money from him. Tommy them had a road. And I was discussing the shit that he was right about that people agree upon. You need to go and collect your heads in a bag. I said this because I thought that when I apologized, I said these things about Tommy. And they were, I put his business out there and I never should have. And I never found the time or the hubris to apologize until Corey started throwing me under the bus. And those things, not even necessarily that. Me and Tommy didn't cross paths. I left all that shit alone. When I misjudged Tommy, I was like, I ain't fucking with that. I don't care what they say about him, good or bad. This dude was just like everybody else. That was my wrong ass thinking. So I didn't even look at it. I didn't even look at it over. But when this shit happened with Corey, I was like, man, that's fucked up. But it wasn't, wow, this fucked up happened to me, so now I'm going to go talk to Tommy. No, I put all that shit in the rearview mirror to include my apology for Tommy. That shit's in the, I'm trying to do this shit. I go up on a panel, I believe it's Fatties. There's Tommy. This man has an art with me. I put his business in the street and I never should have on some bullshit. I was wrong. But I did it online. So I'm going to apologize online. As a few of you have seen me do. If I fuck up online, I'm going to, bruh, I own where I fuck up. I fucked up online. I'm like, this is a perfect time, Tommy. I'm sorry. We had some shit between us that I was wrong, brother. I didn't bring his business up. I didn't bring the whole thing up. My part in it, bruh, I'm wrong. I hope you can forgive me. If we need to talk about it, let's talk about it. He said, dude, that's big of you to do. I thought it was done. I did not know how bad I hurt this brother and that he was carrying on. I didn't. I thought I was done. And then it came up when I said that thing about the heads in the bag. Then everybody started dogpiling. There was no way I was going to rage quit and leave. My name, my integrity was on the line. And it ain't no busload of motherfucker that can talk about how what Jeff done said and did bad to them. Come on. Nah. I can fill the other short school bus with lives I've literally saved, with people I have stopped from doing bad things, with people I have helped in their careers, with just having a lending ear. So I'll go on and look at the other bus. There's a few people on it. But putting me on that bus because I tried to swindle him out of money, because I slandered his name. The definition of slander is when you lie on somebody. I didn't lie. I told the truth I should not have. And I was wrong for that. Ain't no right in that. Ain't no defending that. This is setting the fucking facts straight. And when people get emotional, especially, I don't know, this new group of dudes, when they get emotional, they don't want to hear facts. I was never anything other than contrite. The only reason I kept going back to it is because niggas was wrong about the facts. That is not the situation that went down with us and Angry Man. That was different. And I don't mind if he want to do it, I'll do it. But if not, we can leave it where it is. And for this, here, Ada, got to push back. I got to push back, Ada. This was wonderful to happen. Because now, this is another one of those divining rods, brother. This is another one of those polarizing things that's going to have people. Bruh, there are people who are happy not to like me. I can't do nothing about that. And there are people who are going to see exactly what was said and how and form a different conclusion about me. And those people are in the future. This wasn't about just me and Tommy. This wasn't about the chat monkeys over there. This wasn't about the overzealous co-signers over there. This was about seeing men work shit out. And there's not much more that I felt I had that I could give, but I couldn't give them what they wanted. It's not pride. It's not pride. You can still be proud and bend the knee. What they wanted was a victim. And somebody to beat over and over. There was no time that I didn't own up. Here. What up, Vaughn? I entered late into the conversation, but from what I saw, your apology was sincere. I just did not understand why you felt the need to exceed the apology that you already gave. Okay, Vaughn, I'll tell you why, bro. Uh, because I said what I said and I apologized already, that's feminine. I wanted to dig. I wanted to dig until I could find what it is. The rest of them dudes was noise. Tommy was signal. I heard that man in tears, bro. God requires me of that. That ain't light on me, nigga. The niggas who know my heart know it. The niggas who just want to hold it against me, bruh. All right. All I can give you is track record. Wow. Wow. Kenneth Berry. Shit. They didn't want an apology. You were an avatar for his rage at Corey. Youch. I think, you know what? You know what, Kent? You know what, Brother Barry? I'm going to put that on everybody but Tommy. I was the avatar for their rage for blank, bro. And I got to be that. Some people go, you know, well, I only hope to earn your trust. No, I don't. No, I don't. You know who trusts me? My kids, my wife, my business partners, my family, my brother. My brother trusts me with his life and I with his. You know what that's worth? You know how many people I'm the first phone call or the last? I'm not going to let that be swayed by tonight. Nigga, Marion Barry was mayor twice and the nigga smoked crack. There are people who are going to hold on to this forever. And I got to let them. There are people who don't understand this game we in. And they going to take the easy. That's why people who are in this is why when Tommy brought up the thing about television shows and production and how you always have it, Jeff, you keep talking about a show we ain't seen. I got a few shows you ain't seen because you have no idea how fucking hard it is to make a television show and how close you can get and not have it happen. There are things that and I'm gonna drop the link here in a second. Let me see. Where does it say? Invite guests. Yeah. Okay, cool. Because I'm not gonna be up here much longer. Speaking of that, um, I got another channel called Zero Frame that I just started with my sons. It's a gaming channel because I started a gaming company because I'm tired of young black males making enemies for playing video games while young white males are making money. And my boys is hot. I'm LeVar Ball over there. I sick my boys on you. They funky. With 2K and GTA, my sons is the shit. And I'm starting a team and slowly building it, and I'm gonna have competition. All that. If you game, holla at me. It is my yeah. But there, I think that I put the link up. Yeah, yeah. Do y'all see the link? Yeah, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let me set you up, dog. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the deacons of the First Church of Holy Shit that I just left hanging, a cat who, when I say you look more introspectively at shit, you got to put your Tony Max on. Bruh, I wish you knew my family because I still say that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage where he will not be interrupted. Brother Tony Mack, what's going on, Cat Daddy? Long time.
Man, what's going on, Uncle Jeff, man? Long time, brother. I appreciate you being back on YouTube.
Yes, sir. I left because, bruh, I had so much family. I had 2 dogs die within a
Oh,
year.
sorry to hear that.
Oh my God, bro. Death in my family, money issues, court, family. I couldn't keep it up. Now that that's passed, now that my youngest son is in college, now that things have shifted a little bit, I got time to really get down in this space. And I didn't know that I was gonna come back to a foot in the face, bro. But yeah, man, go ahead and what up, Braxton? Go ahead. Oh yeah, mama. Let me answer this and then let's talk. Yeah, Latoya, both of them. Marley died last, but she was 10. And American bulldogs don't live they don't live a long time. They're like little dogs. But when they get sick, they go down fast. And that's what happened. She went down and bruh, I told my kids growing up, my favorite child is my dog. Cause I ain't never been up to school for her. She ain't never been suspended. And the bitch she came out of ain't looking for no money. My dogs, bro. Dogs are a member of our families. When we have a dog, my dog, nigga. It's niggas I'll watch drown while I pet my dog. Well, I lost 2 of them, bro. I had her, and then as she was getting older, a member of my wife, cousin Annis, nigga. Cousin Annis breed pit bulls. And when I tell you Maceo was beautiful, bro. It was beautiful. He ran out of my house and got hit by a car as a puppy. I scooped him up, tried to get him to the vet. Bruh, I buried him in my brother-in-law's backyard warm. I felt my dog die, bruh.
Sorry to hear that,
Oh my God, I was fucked up last year. Fucked up bad. And I didn't have the bandwidth to get this shit done like I should have. So yeah, kind of went through that. A lot of personal shit that I just don't share. So that explains my absence. I'm through these seas. But the creator, as the creator showed up tonight. Oh no, bruh. Everywhere you going with humility. Let me bring Zero to the stage. Hold your thoughts for a second, Zero. Let my man Tony Mack run, and then I want to hear from you.
Well, yeah, man, I'm glad to see you back. Sorry for the loss of the family, man. You're going to make me hug my dogs a little harder tonight.
You better, bro.
I might wake them up and go hug them.
You better.
But I jumped on the live because I'm going to be very clear and very honest. Y'all know I always keep it real on this thing. I'm happy to see Tommy back. I didn't pick no sides in that. I only tried to jump in there to bring some neutrality, but I couldn't get the floor, and I didn't want to ruin the flow of his show and bring any disrespect to it. I saw what was going on, and respect and peace to the other brothers, but I was trying to bring some clarity in, but I felt like I came a little bit too late, Jeff. I felt like you was on 10 when I came in there. But the beauty of it all, and for everybody that's going back to watch the Tommy Sotomayor live, if y'all can skip to the end to learn the end of the movie and then go back and watch the movie, y'all will learn the beauty of it is that they both came back and made amends of it. And that's the part of it that was important to me. And I was trying to get to that point instead of let's beat down on Uncle Jeff. Let's make Jeff apologize in 3 different languages again.
And for a lot of I hope I'm not cutting you off. And for a lot of things, and here was what was upsetting me and why I had to keep speaking, is because There were other things that I was grouped in that I didn't have nothing to do with. I didn't have nothing to do, as far as I could tell, I was guilty of these things. Number one, prejudging a man because of the goings on and the niggas I had been involved with and the burnt feelings and bridges that I had were fresh. Telling this man's business on some bullshit because he fit some bullshit profile in my head. And then, as soon as I felt it, not reaching out to that brother and saying I'm sorry for that.
Well, if you would have did that, that would make you perfect. And none of us are that. So my whole thing, man, I got to salute both of y'all for it, because you both did something that's very difficult for Black men as well as American men at these times, is being vulnerable. You open the space to own up to the fact that, damn, you're right, Tom, I shouldn't have said your business for whatever reason. And for him, he showed the world that, hey, man, that shit hurt. And sometimes the beef between two men is us afraid to just say, man, that shit hurt. Man, that shit hurt. You know what I mean? Oh, man,
Yeah.
I messed up.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that. And, you know, the outside noise, you know, that's going to push the viewers. That's going to make the money, you know, make everybody laugh and tune in. And that's cool and funny games. But when you get down to the bread and butter of what you guys' conversation was, it was just two men making amends. One guy owning up to his, I wronged you here. And another guy saying, hey, man, when you did that, it shit hurt. And then y'all moved on.
And like I said, and then I want to hear from Zero real quick. We would have arrived there so much quicker if it had been just me and him having that conversation. If it had been me and him.
Facts.
And we talking about shit happened, bruh. When I tell you years ago, and I wronged that man, and I thought my first apology was enough, and it wasn't. And he let me know that. And I'm good, real talk. All of the conversation. Yeah, let me be clear. I think you do this. Let me be clear. And y'all hold on, and then I want to hear from Zero. All of the conversation about who I'm not and what I don't, how I can't be trusted. Y'all, them conversations gonna be had. But so are the others. The question becomes, as people who got down with my get down before, hearing what you heard about me and hearing me on it, does it sway you? And if it do, I understand that. I get it. I gotta own it. Jay Deezy, what up? I gotta own it. But I don't know how to apologize for the same thing out of nowhere. You said it got heated out of nowhere, A-Dub. It did. And that's because Tommy was harboring that. And he was right to harbor it. You can never, that's what it, I swear I'm gonna get out of the way after this. When they said I was wrong to be angry. That's not true. There is not one wrong feeling. The only, there are wrong desires. Not feelings, desires. If you desire a child, when I'm elected emperor, me and Zero and another panel is going to get together and figure out some cruel shit to do to you on pay-per-view. But I can't do that if you harbor that desire and don't act on it. I was not wrong for being angry. I wasn't. I was wrong for what I did with it. I could have dealt with that biased, incorrect bullshit all on my own without involving this man or putting my mouth where it didn't go. I could have done that, and I had every right. I could be mad as you want to be. It's what you do with it. And I did wrong with it. I own it. I'm sorry. I'm done with it. Or with that part of it. We can discuss it over here as much as y'all want and bring it up whenever you want. Okay, I'm gonna bring Brother Vaughn in, but Brother Vaughn, you after my man Zero. Go ahead. I gotta put this one up here, man. My devil dog, my dude.
What up, devil
yo.
dog?
Hey, bruh, good to hear from you. And Belize is looking nicer and nicer every damn day.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. I'm coming from a different angle, right?
Mhm.
I really appreciate what Tony Mack had to say, as far as being a black man and the conversations that we need to have and owning up to all of that, right?
Mhm.
That is real, right? But I have to tell you, since we last worked together, man, um, I've really been digging into this social media thing, right?
Mhm.
It's business, man. It's branding. I saw a play on it.
You going in and out. You going in and out, Zero.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, keep it right there. Whatever
Okay,
you're doing.
yeah. I saw a major play tonight.
Mhm.
It was all business of what I saw. I didn't see. I heard a bunch of people talking about what teachable lessons, things like that. I really saw was a bunch of grandstanding, and kind of rallying around uh, Tony's comeback. I saw a little Machiavelli. I saw a little bit.
You're breaking up, brother.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
You
don't know.
saw
It's
her
pretty bad.
Machiavelli. Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I said I saw a little bit of Machiavelli. I saw a little bit of mafioso plays going on.
yeah.
This YouTube thing is serious business, man. And what they did was they basically isolated the weakest rabbit and just beat up on the weakest rabbit.
Yeah.
That's all it was. You know what I'm saying? It's like there was no teachable moment in that because how are you to know 10 years ago, what's going on and how these things are going to manifest? I see it clearly, man. People that come out of the frame that you guys come from with the studios and things like that, you're looking at things a certain way. And then when cats come with all of this slick talk, this new digital age talk, talking about the bags that they making, it's very hard to believe, right? I mean, YouTubers are making like $150 million sitting in their seat, in a year. So it's just, I get it, but one of the things that I did see is I saw a play because that manosphere is dying out, man, and what they're gonna have to do,
Wow.
what they gonna have to start doing is feeding on themselves, and what they're gonna do is start picking out the weakest links and feeding on that for controversy, and that's gonna bring the bags up of the guys who got the bigger audiences, the more cult like followings. That's just how it's gonna work. It's a smooth play. I'm I have to be honest. I do see some sincerity in what it is that they're saying, but I see a lot of it
The
is
bigger game.
yeah, it's a bigger game going on, man. It's a play. You see, you're not in this making a bag. You're not in this. Your channel's not turning over revenues. I just saw a whole panel of people whose channels are turning over revenues. You understand? And they have to
Substantiate that revenue.
they have to substantiate that. They have to have controversy, and they have to have it where the viewers are engaged the whole time. So if you're going to dedicate 4 hours to a stream, you got to make it something that the people are going to be engaged in for the whole 4 hours for you to really, to get your
See
money's
the
worth.
bread.
Yeah, man, it's a game. So don't take it to heart. You know, it is what it is. I'm proud of you. For stepping up and admitting whatever it is that you in your heart felt like you had to admit. But whoever rock with you gonna rock with you. Whoever don't.
How about that? How about
It's
that?
just is what it is. This thing, understand it this way. This thing is so vast. This is going to be $1 trillion game in a few years, not billion, trillion. I'm talking about streaming, YouTube, all of that. That means that the audiences are so diverse that you don't have to really worry about uh, these games that people play. People that really work with you, that know you, that vibe with you, they're gonna vibe with you, and it's better to have a community that really, 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 fucks with you strong.
Fuck with you like that. Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like my
That's
look,
real
man.
talk.
I run 15 channels now. So
Wow.
it's like my main channel is at 25 million views, and I don't even have 20,000 subscribers, and I'm making bank. It's not about subscriptions. People got it all wrong. The math that people was on a few years ago ain't math. It have nothing to do with subscribers. It have to do with people that rock with you and mobilizing the people that rock with you when you're generating revenue,
Right.
and interest. And that's all it's about. You can do that with 5,000. You don't have to have 800,000 to do that.
Well, bruh, I definitely want to have that conversation with you, uh, because um, there are things that I've talked to the creator about. I don't have a choice. That my voice has to be the one said, and I'm
Yeah,
I,
and
I
I'm sorry about my sound too. I'm in Belize, so
yeah, yeah, bro. Well, I I'm okay, and then I want to hear from you, brother Vaughn.
Yes, sir.
I'm okay with having my name thrown around, especially on some clips that I'm not going to make, because all it's going to do is make people seek out the truth. And I, I, my track record stands. I need somebody to drop the needle on me on some bullshit anywhere, or uh, on something I didn't own, or on some sense I didn't make, and I'll stand on that. And if that's not enough, then put me. And that's the one thing that I really, uh, and I think they lost, is that I'm in a different pile of wrong. I didn't, and they somehow, anyway, to recognize that, somehow watered the apology down for them. And I really want brothers, as brothers I respect, I want y'all to tell me if this sounds like I'm trying to excuse my way out of this, because I really don't mean to.
let me say one more thing, and I'm gonna dip back for let brother Vaughn
Yeah,
Yeah.
speak. So the other thing too that you got to understand is that like everybody watched this, right? We watched Tommy Sotomayor's rise and fall. And he can't blame his fall on this one thing that happened. Tommy acted an ass. Tommy it's like with hindsight, as we grow as men, we realize like, damn, I had the bag and I fumbled it. Everybody's at that stage where they realize I could have did this, I could have did that, I could have done that. You can't just blame the sum total of what he went through. What happened with you guys, because Tommy had a bunch of people gunning for him. Tommy, he put himself out there. When you out there, you the king of the hill, you the big badass. People gonna come gunning for you, and if you're not ready to, it's a gladiatorial arena.
Right.
If you're not ready for
Yeah.
battle, if you slip, they're gonna hit you on your Achilles tendon. Then when you fall down a certain way, they're gonna slice the neck, and that's just what happens. It's like it's not all on this one particular point. I do feel for the brother. I know that probably when he was down, he felt like he wanted to, take his life, and he felt bad. But look, man, a lot of this stuff is about origin stories, comebacks, and creating a mythology that people can rally around again, man. This is all business, man. Just you best believe it. It's a little bit of reality in it, but now all of this, man, it's taking that reality and manipulating it for a straight business and to just grasp the attention. I call it Bernaysian. It's like a Bernaysian propaganda. Edward Bernays was a military psychological warfare magician. You
Oh, wow.
And that's what's going on right now. And these guys are masters. Tommy is a master, yo. You best believe it.
Well, okay, cool. And welcome to the spot, my man, and have dug your comments for a minute, Doc. Good to have you here. What's going on, Brother Vaughn? What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. Wow. Listen, I appreciate you, brother. I've heard you many times on many occasions, on panels, and I'm always in the chat. Normally, I'm
Yeah.
exactly. I'm usually in the chat, but you can always go over to Bolo's channel because I do ministry over there. But I came in a little bit late to the conversation, right? But from what I gathered, from what I saw, and I don't know the depth of what you've done or how bad it was, but apparently it was something that you felt the need to apologize.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? To try to make some type of amends, right? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I seen that you were like a brother that had a paper cut, but was in a shark full of a tank full of sharks, right? And they when they smell blood, they go for what they go.
Yeah.
But I thought you were very sincere about your apology. And let me just say this. A lot of times, and thank God that he is who he is. You see, because if men were in charge, we'd be in deep trouble, even though they're in charge, but he's still in control. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so just the fact that you were able to be sincere in your apology, it was a good learning lesson for me because it shows me how man is versus how God is. The Bible says now, if it's okay for me to quote a scripture, I don't know.
Come on, man, do your thing, bro.
But definitely, yes. The Bible says that if you confess your sins, he's faithful and just to forgive you of your sin and cleanse you from all unrighteousness. But see, men are not like that. You see, they will taunt you. They will throw rocks at you, even if they're guilty of the same thing. Come on. We watch some of these streams and we see people doing some of the same dirt, right? So when I saw it, I said, wow. I see this brother, and I don't know what the depth is like again of what you did, because I don't know the backstory, But I did see you apologize over apology. So I'm trying to figure out now, wait a minute now, what's going on with this right here? Because I hear him apology over apology, and it sounds sincere, but yet they're still coming for his throat. And so God showed me, he said, he's like in a tank full of sharks, but he has a paper cut now. You see?
It don't take
You know,
much more than that.
yeah, just the very faint smell of blood.
Well,
Bro,
bro, let me do this real quick, and then
hopefully I didn't
I ain't
ramble on
gonna
too
do
long, brother.
no, not at all, man, not at all. You hit the nail on the head. Uh, just to the cliff notes were that basically I misjudged this brother.
Yeah.
He told me some things in confidence that he was going through in his life that uh out of my own um my my own pain from my own experience. I wronged this brother by putting his business out there, and I never should have done that. And I did. I also uh, realized that I was wrong, and I let life get in the way.
Yeah.
I let my own circumstance get in the way.
Yeah.
And then I was even wronger, I found out tonight, because I didn't know everything. I didn't know I was working out. I made some bullshit decisions on limited information. I was wrong and I owned it.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of times people don't want contrition. They don't want sincerity. They want blood, bro. And
Yeah.
I'm okay with them getting it because, again, like I've said before, we are the wise people of the future. We are the wise. We are the old wise people in the future, Brother Vaughn. Everybody who sits here.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is somebody going to be stuck. And if there was a new Bible to be made a few hundred years from now, what do you think they're going to use as history reference? Where they find the wisdom here.
Mm.
And they will find me contrite here. And the wise will see what they need to see. The wise will put it together, bro. I don't, that was what was so, that's why I did not leave. That's why I couldn't. It would have been so easy to hit the red square. But I needed, especially because I was blindsided by this. I didn't know he was going down this road. I really thought after my apology, me and Tommy was cool the first time. I didn't know. And that man I don't give a fiddler's fuck about what else that man has done wrong in his life. That don't have shit to do with me. What does is what I did wrong to that man. And I owned it. And for whatever reason that it went long, that's the lesson for those in the future, bro. Mankind was on trial tonight. And I don't think as much as the cats around him was co-signing it. Hey, man, the maddest brother at me with foam in his mouth. I ain't mad at that brother. I'm not. If any of them want to come over here and talk about it, I'll talk about it again. But it's going to have to be in context with the other shit that I talk about that made y'all find me in the first goddamn place. Because that's what I'm on. So, yeah, the floor is open.
Well, I don't want to be too long, but I do definitely want to say this to you, brother. You did what God required of you to do.
Come on.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Come on.
And that supersedes anything that any man has to say concerning you. You see, because your aim is not to please them, it's to please God.
Come on.
It's to please the Creator. You see what I'm saying? And so when you come clean, you don't have to stay away dirty. And you were very confessant about it. Hey, I did do this. I'm guilty of this. I did it. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
Doesn't
sure.
mean that there's not consequences now. Because you see, man will condemn you to death, right? But see, God doesn't treat us that way. And so when I saw that it was such a great lesson, it opened up God all over again to me. And God said, now listen and look, a lot of times we spend so much time talking, right? But we don't listen, you see. God sends us a message even through the word listen, you see. And if you interchange the word, right? If you take the letters and interchange them, you can spell silent. Watch it. Listen. It's because we don't listen. That's why we don't learn. And so when I saw that situation, I could have jumped, all up in my feelings about it and say, well, how dare them? How who do they think they are? You see what I'm saying? But God said, sit back and listen and look, because he showed me something out of the conversation. This is how man does. That's why we have to put our trust in God and not man, brother. And I didn't come up here to get too heavy into it, but I just wanted to share that with you. I thought the conversation was beautiful, but yet it was hard. You see what I'm saying? When I looked at it, I said, iron sharpens iron. You see what I'm saying? But what is this? If we are the brethren, see? Because from what I've learned from the scriptures, it said, if your brother is found in a fault of some kind, those of you who are spiritual should restore such a one, right? Through love and meekness. Okay, you did wrong. You messed up. And I didn't appreciate what you did. But this teaches us how to go to God, brother. God, I enjoyed smoking the crack. You see what I'm saying?
I didn't do it because in the words of
I'm not going to come to you. Listen, I'm not coming to you fake, Lord.
Bruh, parenthetically, Richard Pryor said I didn't do cocaine because it made me feel bad.
Come on now. And I was a abuser and a user at one time. But brother, man, therefore there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. You see what I'm saying?
I got you, Jay.
That's just
Well, bro, and I'm glad you brought up the Creator, regardless to what you may
I didn't mean
call
to go
it.
there, brothers.
No,
brothers,
man, you ain't never wrong. Look here, in the words of the brother Minister Farrakhan, we can argue about God's name when we free.
Yeah, okay, we can do. We can do that.
I ain't even tripping on that.
But I ain't worried about it.
Absolutely. What I was about to say is that not on no Hoda the Boko shot. Thank you, Jesus. Not on none of that.
Yeah, should have bought
For
a Kia.
For me, it is about I am trying my best to be the best man and the holiest man that I can. And I don't care what that walk looks like outside of me, because again, none of what people think of you is any of your business. It's not my I can't hold the people who need to hold animosity for me. I gotta let them hold it till it get too hot or too heavy.
Yeah.
I gotta let them hold it till it get too hot or too heavy. But I can't. It's not for me to walk around with what they hot about, regardless to who that is, especially after tonight. And the only forgiveness I seek is Tommy's and anybody who feels dismayed about my movement, that I might have that they had so much invested in me and now this thing stung them so bad. I'm sorry. All I can do is come back up here and do what I was doing. That's it. I don't have that space.
Right. And you apologize. We heard that it was sincere, and I understood Tommy's point of why it took him a second to really accept it. But 4-5 hours of the same thing over and over,
Bruh.
man. At some point, dudes got to know they just trolling.
Yeah, that's
If-
bad work. Bad work.
and
Yeah.
that's the bad part of it, is that they truly got to be honest with themselves and know that they were trolling and being other kind of ways to push their YouTube channels. And I ain't knocking it. I just know like 4 hours of it. Come on, man. It could have been 4 hours of a positive conversation, moving a goalpost to something else.
Well, brothers,
Yeah.
that's again. I'm gonna pop my collar and I'm gonna throw it back to JD. That's what I'm here for.
The JD.
I'm gonna make this promise to you and everybody under the sound of my voice, that regardless to what the conversation is about, regardless to whether I like it or not, here you will be heard. Anybody who cannot abide by that, I'm only going to mute once. I will then take you down for a few minutes, let you cool off. I'll bring you back. You start that shit again, I don't want to see you till I see you, which might be a week, might be a month, but I'll make it known why you were kicked out of here and why I'm having you back. You do that shit again, and I don't want you over here, because I'm not gonna run my and I ain't throwing no dispersions at nobody else, because basically, real talk, this is the majority of most most channels, is that they run on animosity, they run on conflict. I don't want to run. My channel will be run about animosity, about conflict, but in love and respect, because don't none of them niggas act like that in court. None of them. Not a goddamn one. You can't pay them, because there's a bailiff there that'll take your monkey ass back there with some niggas that like to fight. So I'm going to run a channel like that. This going to be the place where, yeah, we're going to say some dumb shit. We going to joke. We definitely going to smoke. But at the end of it, we going to share wisdom and positivity with one another on a level like I don't see enough of.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, with that, JD, what's happening, brother? Long time, man. What's on your mind?
What's up?
Salute, Uncle Jeff, man. What's going on, Tony Mack, my man Ranger Zero, man. What's going on? Good to see you, Zero, as well as Vaughn Bryant, man. Wise words. I checked in on it, from here to there, man, and I got the context for me within 5 minutes. And like to Brother Vaughn's point, it's interesting when people want to come at you with stones. And this ain't no disrespect to any of the brothers that you dealt with, but just like Jesus, like he's told the people, he said, "Let he without sin cast the first stone." And nobody ain't never threw a stone, because they know their hands was just as dirty as the people that they are accusing, that they want to put on in front of the congregation of the church. And I get it. We all need correction. No one is above reproach. However, I looked at it as like two uncles at the cookout, and one said something years ago and nobody got over it, but it's still being talked about within the family. Now, all of a sudden, while the good potato salad is out there,
Oh, shit.
without the raisins, while the Kool-Aid is going, while the chicken is on the grill, now all of a sudden, two of the uncles have their dispute. Now, how I've seen it and how I've dealt with it. Number one, that's between you and that person. That ain't got nothing to do with me. As far as I'm concerned, let's keep the potato salad going, the Kool-Aid popping, and the chicken on the grill. All right. It's one thing when you seek to rectify the situation in private, because solely that's between you and that person. All right. And whatever y'all agree upon, whatever is said, whether y'all still got beef afterwards, that's between y'all two. I think we as men, we have we talk tradition, but we're acting real modern to put it out here on this space like this. Because Jeff, you know, I don't know you from your day to day and your.
You hit that on the nose, JD.
I know you come from a place where you old school, you Chi-Town. I don't know all the rules of Chi-Town, but I know my people's in Chi-Town, and I'm like, okay, they operate in a certain way. So let me hold back and let them rock out and how they rock out. You get what I'm saying? And it's disheartening because all we're doing really is giving the enemy fire. We're feeding the enemy against us. And watch, mark my words, somebody gonna bring this up again. And then it's a repetitive flesh wound that will never be healed by the bandage and the gauze that needs to be applied now. Now
Well,
that
if I could, just real quick, bro.
go ahead.
And I'm gonna have to go with an of course still. Of course still. And what I'm gonna make available is I'm not gonna clip it, but I'm gonna go back through it and look at the links where I clearly, or the spaces where I clearly and honestly apologized and how I felt. And I'm going to leave those timestamps over there and refer people to them timestamps. Go figure it out from that. And for real, like I said, brothers, I'm in a court of men I profoundly respect. Let it hang. Let your nuts hang. And let's talk about what you saw. So as the wise men of this court, we can wrap this particular subject up, but know that there will be many others and they on their way back now. The floor is open.
All right. Well, to my point, Jeff, like I said, man, you know, you've apologized, and I'm not saying let's not forget, but let us at least give each other grace, understand, and figure things out. Because from what I understand, it was 10 years ago, correct? Jeff,
Bruh, it's coming up on it if it ain't. It really
okay.
is coming up on it if it ain't.
Man, look, I'm 50 years old. You get me to remember some things that I did last month, okay? So give me some grace. All right. Part of me, if I'm not perfect in the intricacies of life and how I've moved, trust me, I know I've made mistakes. But have I corrected myself? Yes. I think self-correction is always a great thing. But let you take that mantle. Don't let nobody take your mantle and tell you how you should run at the pace. It's your mantle. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I agree with him. That's what I didn't appreciate is the extra input. You know, if it was real and sincere, it would have been between you and Tommy. We wouldn't have heard a peep out the room, and it would have been wrapped up because everybody is talking about you should have apologized 4 hours earlier, but it would have actually been wrapped up hours earlier if it was just between you and Tommy. Remember, brothers, you know, because it's wise men on this panel, and I heard a bunch of wise words. Just always remember, YouTube is Caesar. You understand?
You're breaking up, brother.
YouTube is Caesar's, and you render unto Caesar what Caesar. You know, there's no purpose behind YouTube other than pushing an advertising dollar. You know, and everything else is secondary. You know, so if you always keep that in mind, it's always easy to see the plays as they're being run, and that's you just got to stay wise to it. You know, it's no more. It's no such thing as social media anymore. That's dead. You know, everything is about interest media right now. So it's like you lock in, you formulate your cult, you lock them in, and then you sell things to them. And that's what it's about. So just understand, and understand anything investment or anything that you try. Like me, I'm not in this realm of controversy. I sell to Boy Scouts. It's 57 million Boy Scouts. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and I own channels that cater to Boy Scouts and youths and no cursing and things like that. And believe it or not, this realm that we're dealing in now that we saw tonight is the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to revenue generation on this YouTube platform. It's the bottom. For some reason, black folks
Yeah,
stay
you're
so.
breaking up, brother. You're really breaking up
Yeah,
bad, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm saying about that.
Yeah, Doc, it's tough to because and you really what I hate is that uh, you dropping gems.
Yeah.
I let me welcome to the panel, Brother Shadow Observer. Hey man, I don't know how much you saw, uh, and I would love your thoughts. Hold them for a second, okay? Uh, Brother Mastodon says, you apologize, and it made you sound hella weak. Okay, what I my only suggestion is that, or no, this is my requirement. If you have a point to make and you try to make it twice typing to be taken serious, you got to come up here and cam up. I don't mind. I would really like to hear your opinion, bro. But what is counterproductive I see in these spaces is going back and forth with people in the chat that won't come up. Just come on up and let's holler about it. And I would love to, yeah, if you could expound on it from where you at right now. Type something else to expound so I understand what you're saying. And then after that, if you have anything else to say, you are absolutely welcome to come up here and say it. This panel is open, brother. Go elaborate and stand on your words. Yes, sir. Absolutely, bruh. If nothing else, if you got something to say, Uncle Jeff, you ain't shit. You's a lying ass. You ain't never done none of the shit you said. You got caught, whatever. Come on up here, and I will let you speak uninterrupted. And I will ask that you let the other brother speak uninterrupted, because that's the rule for every fucking body up here. This will never turn into monkeys throwing shit. I'll throw all you niggas out of here before I let that happen. There's too much wisdom. I roll too strong. Look at the panel now. I roll too strong. We don't do that here. So, and I've used up enough of Shadow Observer's time. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Type something else if I didn't understand you. And after that, if I don't understand you, you got to come up here. All right, go ahead, Brother Shadow.
Hey, hey, how's it going,
All right now.
Uncle Jeff, and panel? First time talking with you, but been a subscriber for a while.
All right. Welcome.
Checking out everything that took place. Just get to it. I appreciate all the brothers on the panel speaking what they're saying. It's I look at it from a high road approach, but at the same time, you got to also remember why you took the high road, and you apologize multiple times, and you know, if you look at the end, towards the end, everybody wanted to do this so-called buzzword or phrase of teachable moments. Well, within that, they alluded, and I don't know if we can curse over here, but
As long as you tell the fucking truth.
yeah, within that, how many times they were referring to you as a woman or a bitch, and so many different, phrasing or statements, how they was trying to frame the situation. Well, the teachable moment was literally them running up the bag, like the brother in beliefs is alluding to far as getting the bag. But then the other part was it had nothing to do with you being a part. You had brothers that ain't even a part of it, seemingly to be more upset than Tommy. So all this was performative, and that's AKA what they call content. So I'm just looking at it, and I sent back, and I'm like, I watched from when it started. It started, Sinator came up, and then all of a sudden, you became the subject, which was crazy to me. Now, Tommy could be harboring feelings about it, but if you apologized 3 years ago, and I personally been in a situation where I don't apologize just a year ago to someone regarding a situation that still I know I wasn't 100% wrong, but still, but you brought it back up when it was convenient. And I'm not taking shots at anybody, or I'm just calling the plays, how I saw it. I said, okay, well, this is all just let's go ahead and just attack this brother type thing versus um, we're doing this because we need to get this out. Because you even said within the conversation, some of this, this is behind the scenes work. Well, then why did we keep going?
Well,
There
well,
was, mhm.
oh, and I hate to cut you off. Uh, I'm a 50 groovy brother Jimmy. I need to see your face. Uh, real talk. Uh, the what needed to happen, bro, was that uh, regardless of the salacious nature from it in the giddy up, regardless of that, regardless, and you right, you may be about the advent, you and Brother Zero, about the advantage that these cats are taking to do what they doing. Uh, I can, without a shadow of a doubt, tell you that to a fault, I wasn't in it for that. When I stopped, I had 5,000, and I had to stop because of family shit, other shit that I had to handle that was deeper, and some of it stung so bad that I just stopped abruptly. And there were people who were listening to me that loved me, that heard what I was saying, that needed my help, and they couldn't get it because I was busy helping me. And tonight, for me, is about everybody being able to make their judgment with it all there. These things that you are saying, if this is what these brothers are doing, then they can't hide from it. I can't hide from this moment forward. I got to move forward and cannot in any way uh, make excuses for it. Oh yeah, I gotta bring my StreamYard back up. Uh, I can. It says I can only have uh, 6 in here. Dadgummit, because I would love to have Jimmy.
Jeff, I can step down, Jeff. I got to get the kids and stuff together in a couple of hours. So
Okay, hey man, thank you, and thank you for coming, because I'm not gonna be up here much longer. As a matter of fact, brother Jimmy, if you cam up now that somebody's stepping down, I'll bring you up to say what you got to say, man. Uh, uh, and thank you so much for stopping by, bro. I'm so glad that number one, that the strong brother's still down the ride from the last time I was up here, because I'm yeah, the book club was fire. Absolutely. Jimmy, there's room for you, man, if you want to come back up here. There was a bunch
Yeah,
of super chat fishing and clip. Okay, and then go ahead after me, Tony Mac. There's a clip baiting. Jeff and Tommy can now have a productive conversation if that's what was needed. Everybody else hustling. Wow. Okay, and go ahead. I believe that was Tony Mac.
yeah, that was my guy Barclay Media, man. Took the words right out of my mouth. That was just my only explanation. It wasn't no disrespect to the other guys that was on the panel, but for 6 hours, that's pretty much what it was. And I was like, man, once you and Tommy had y'all words out, I felt like we were robbed of a very good, productive conversation. And especially with guys like Angry Man, who's also, makes some good material as well.
Mhm.
Like, I just thought we was robbed of a really, really good conversation. It was still fun. It was good laughs, all jokes and stuff, but it was mainly trolling. And it wasn't
Right.
nothing to diss those guys on it. It's just me being honest.
Well, and here's something. If y'all find something else, and I told you, man, dig. I pose this to you all. I want you to dig around for the shit that you find out or hear that as a man I need to fix. Because again, I'm trying to live as pleasing to the Most High as I know how. It is outside of earring, smoking weed, and cussing. I everything else. I call myself cleaning my closet with Tommy a few years ago. It wasn't enough for what I should have said and what that man needed. Period. And he was not wrong for asking for it. He was not wrong. I don't, like earlier. I forget who said it. I believe it might have been no, it wasn't Brother Vaughn. That no, I think it was Brother Zero about his past and how other people came for him. And you right about all of that. That ain't got a goddamn thing to do with what I did, and I owned it. After that, bruh, y'all can talk about it if you want. We can talk about it if you want, but you gotta let the people who still stirring this shit identify themselves as niggas that's still stirring shit. Because that's exactly what this is if you go any further. That's
Yeah,
exactly.
don't pay that. Don't pay that no more. Can you hear me?
What? Say that again?
Don't pay that. Don't put too much energy into that, because that'll drop. This stuff is just too. It's business. Just recognize that, man. It's straight up business. See the masterminds, they didn't have to do a lot, right? You know, the guys that did have some kind of decorum and respect about themselves, they didn't have to do much. They just had to just sit back. Angry Man, he put in his work, so he don't have to act a fool. Like if you notice the little young guy in the bottom that was just going crazy, that's a whippersnapper that's an up and coming YouTuber. That's somebody that's trying to get the name recognition, trying to, to show the quote unquote big bosses that, he's loyal. It's a cult order, and that's just how you got to look at these things. And it's not necessarily that Tommy's doing anything wrong or anybody on the panel is doing anything wrong. You just got to get wise to it and play it different next time. Now that you are wise to it, because that's all it is. The longer that they can keep you going around in circles, the longer that they can keep the viewership up.
Sure.
And that's all it's about, my brother. It's not. And honestly, it was big of you, to to apologize. The young brothers, I suppose there are young brothers out there in the chat talking about you look weak. It's never weak to play. Even if you the master killer, it's never weak to play magnanimous. It's never weak. It's always the best position on the board to be the most magnanimous player. That's magnanimous means you're able to apologize, for no reason for the most part, and that's what it is. If it make them feel good, make them feel good. Let them
do
feel
their
so.
thing, man.
Let them do their thing.
Well, the other thing is the speed of the news cycle. Y'all can only chew on this before it gets stale to you for so long. And for me again, bro, I don't. The big reason, to be straight up honest, once it got started, the big reason I stayed up there was y'all. Because it's people that I don't just get to go, you know what? I'm not going to dignify this with an explanation. Bullshit. I'm going to get behind this and own every stitch of it. Whatever it is, because I thought I had before, apparently I didn't. There's more than just right and wrong riding on this. There is my previous positions on right and wrong. So from this point, oh yeah, easy, bro. It's easy for me to shoo away from this conversation. That's
and
why
let me give you some intel. It's a trend to whip up on the people who are not aware.
Yeah,
that's just the trend. That's just how it is, and you'll find that is the young boys love coming out the woodwork, whipping up on the old heads. That's just how it is. I watched this, man. I watched it I got like 30 screens now, man. I've invested in my setup, man, and it's like all I do is just watch this, man, because it's fascinating to me. I watch it on our side with I guess you call it quote unquote black YouTube, and I watch it everywhere else. I watch what everybody else is doing, and I look at the differences and the comparisons, and I just notice that we are so low on the totem pole because things that we gravitate toward, it's this thing is so expansive and it's so much out here to do that you could be making way more money, spending way less time without having to belittle people, without turning it into a gladiatorial arena. But it's just for some reason, that's just what the common vibration is.
Right. It's easy money.
Yeah, it's easy money. So it's the cycles move so fast. Let me give you something. I'll give you a little insight, right? Mm-hmm. Tommy gets whipped on. These young boys, like, they manhandled Tommy. Tommy got manhandled by a brother named Saint and Sinner a few weeks back.
Shout out to Saint and Sinner. I dig that dude. Shout out to that dude.
It's like, yo, it's just if they can eat you up and it fuels their brand, that's what they're gonna do. And what you just got to do is just armor down. If you're gonna be in this arena, you just armor down, and you get swift. That's all it's about. Is no more, no less. I was reading the comments, and people see it. They were bringing up the points. They started advertising their channels, and it's media training. So it's like basically what you went through tonight was a quick lesson in YouTube media training.
Yeah. Sure. And let me just say this, if I could, because I'm going to have to step down in a few. But, definitely, brother, I really appreciate you allowing me up here tonight. It's very rare that I get on a panel. You know, I'm over, like I said, I'm over there on Bolo's channel, you know, doing ministry over there. But I just want to encourage you, brother, because you see, when we humble ourselves, you see, that's the manliest thing that we can do. You know, now I know a lot of people say that, no, you're weak for that. But see, the scripture says that when we make ourselves a base, God will exalt us. You see. Now listen, pride goes before destruction. See, and a haughty spirit before a fall. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to humble ourselves. The scripture says, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, you see, then I will hear from heaven and forgive their sin and heal their land. And so tonight, brother, the humility that you showed, the humble, you see what I'm saying? I did it. I'm sorry. You caught me. I'm going to correct that. That's what God requires of you. So seek to please God, not man.
Absolutely.
And I'll leave it right there, brother. But thank you for having me, bro.
Absolutely, man.
Bless up, brother Vaughn. Give
Yeah.
thanks.
To wrap this up, man, I'm just I'm glad to see y'all back. I'm not gonna release my schedule yet. I don't know if you heard Zero. The name of my gaming company is Zero Frame, and it's Zero Frame TV. It's with one word, no spaces. And we just starting to put up content. Bro, my shit is about realness, positivity, and fun. Fun through the video games and the shit I'm doing over there, and realness and positivity through giraffe balls and hopefully the first church, to get all of these things running to where, yes, do I want to make bread doing this? Especially, yeah, Zero, we got to talk. Especially if I can be positive and do it.
Yeah.
I am not on no and good night, A-Dub. Good night to y'all bouncing out. I ain't gonna be up here much longer. But I'm on the same shit I always was, bro. Positivity and helping my people. And I'm not gonna, take the he fall down. I'm not gonna take that road. I'm not, because it's too paid, it's too traveled by too many bullshitters. I did it. I'm sorry. Those who follow me, I hope you can forgive me. Creator, I've always met Creator, me and you to holler about this over and over. And to Tommy, I sincerely hope that if there's anything else, brother, we could talk about it, because I'm sorry for my part in it. And everybody else got to hold what they holding, bro. They got to hold what they holding, because there's no more road to run on. There's no more. You ever see that in Thrifty? You ever go in the ice cream parlor and see when they get down low?
Look, you
Did I take you
way
back to Thrifty, dog? You ever
Yeah.
go in the you ever go in the ice cream store and you have the misfortune of seeing maybe strawberry or one of the popular flavors empty, and then you look down and see the scrapings of steel that somebody had in their ice cream because they just didn't want to change the bucket?
No, that
Bruh.
happened to me yesterday.
Man.
Bruh, it's time to change the bucket.
Yeah.
And all I can do is, on my own time, like I said, I'm gonna make some clips, or not make clips. I'm going to, on their timeline, put where I said what I said here, what I said there. And if you need to refer to it, you can go back over there, because we didn't change the bucket over here. So I thank you, brothers. Tell the niggas, muster the Rohirrim. Tell them I'm back. Can't wait to chop it up with you, brothers. and the realest talk in the world, y'all know, y'all remember this. I kick you niggas the fuck out at the end. I enjoyed that. I still have that guilty pleasure of kicking niggas out at the end. I absolutely, the 30-something of y'all, the 40-something of y'all that showed up, I thank you. Tell somebody I'm back. It was crazy. It was crazy for it to start like this, but it had to start somewhere. And yeah, like I said, peaceful detractors welcome. Oh shit, Sharon Bracy, you killing me, man. You killing me. How you gonna come in here now and finna go? That's horrible, sir. I would have loved to have had you up here. We could have chopped it up. The next time, until next time, y'all. Peace and love. I'm out.